But maybe you're familiar with the Spider-Man analogy. For those out there that don't know, Matt Dillahunty and others have talked a lot about the Spider-Man analogy, which says, hold on, if you guys are saying, look at all this stuff we see in the Gospels from Luke and all that, that's like really specific locations, names, the types of work that somebody's doing, the right term, depending on where you're at, all of that. So this gives us great reason to trust the Gospels. And then somebody like Matt Dillahunty steps up and says, hold on, what if in 2,000 years we said, hey, look, there's a guy here writing about New York City. It's got the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. Here's where it is. Here's the names of the streets. Therefore, there's a good case to be made that Spider-Man's true, that takes place in New York City. Your thoughts first?
Yeah, we know Spider-Man is fiction. If you're going to ask people 40 years after Spider-Man was written, people are going to say, well, this is a work of fiction.
Yeah.
People that were writing about Jesus wrote about him as if he was an historical figure. Every early Christian did. Tacitus did. Pliny, Lucian, Josephus, they all wrote about him as if he was a historical person. So that right there shows you this is a bad analogy to begin with. And second of all, the story of Christianity about a dead and resurrected Messiah does not fit with the Jewish background of what they were expecting when a Messiah was supposed to come. They were expecting a conqueror, someone who was going to defeat Rome. And instead they got somebody who preached that we were all sinners, that even many of the Jews had become sons of Satan, which does not fit with that at all, and that then he was going to die for their sins and then rise, and that would prove he's going to be the Messiah. It's completely an anomaly in terms of the background.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And I haven't heard any of them make this case, so hopefully I'm not strawman in their position. But I mean, I think about just think about it kind of practically here. Like during the time in the first century too, during the time of Jesus, the disciples, the first Christians, they were willing to die for Jesus, right? For the truth of Christianity and of Christ's resurrection. So that's obviously different. You're not going to get a lot of people today that are going to be willing to die for Spider-Man, given that Spider-Man is real and stake their lives on it, right? You're just not going to get that. And even if you say that maybe some people would, sure, but that's not going to be a whole community like it was in the New Testament of these Jews that were very devout and had every reason to reject Jesus being God in the flesh and resurrecting. They weren't predicting a Messiah a dying and rising Messiah, and especially in the middle of time. You know what I mean? The resurrection is supposed to come at the end of time. So anyways, it goes against their expectations, but they still fell down and worshiped a man as God, and also were willing to stake their lives on that claim. So much so that there's reports of them even like laughing when they were going to be executed and stuff, because they had that much trust and confidence that Jesus was the true God. So the equivalent to Spider-Man, not a good one in my opinion.